some people hear about non-dual frequently these days if we are interested in spiritual matters. It's becoming a common word. Love, of course, is more common, known for a long time. Everybody uses the word love. Of course, in different languages, it's a different word. Love, English is love. First thing I wanted to say about it is that love has to do, or is the main function of the human heart. This brings in a very ancient saying from some ancient teaching, a wisdom saying that says, what makes a human different from all other animals is that the human can have heart. But I'm sure some of us will say, wait a minute, other animals have heart too. I mean, elephants are empathic, and whales can feel things, and my dog loves me, and I love my dog. So it's true that some animals have hearts, some kind of heart. But it's ancient teaching when they say human beings are different from other animals by having hearts. We need to understand what does it mean, having heart. They didn't just mean one of those things I mentioned. They mean a much bigger thing. The heart is a much bigger thing. For the wisdom tradition, the heart is a conduit to the spiritual world. It's a wormhole that the spiritual world expresses itself in the physical world. And human beings can have a heart that fully expresses what a heart can do in this world, with others, with nature, with other beings. And the main function of heart, as I said, is love, the main element. Because many people think heart means I can feel, I have emotions. I can get angry, I can be mad, I can be sad, I can be, depressed, I can be happy, I can be. That's usually what heart means. But all these really, if we really study matter in a deep experiential contextual way, they're all expressions or indirect reverberation of love. So what the hell is love? Most people think they know what love is. And in some sense, most people do. But that is not what this ancient teaching meant by love. What most human beings know about love, and the outermost layer, the outermost expression of love. When we say we love each other, I love my children, I love my friend, I love my wife or husband, I love my country, I love humanity, I love nature. It is love. It's not that, it isn't love, but love is a lot more than that, much more than that. So, to have heart, what makes a human being really distinct. There might be other beings we don't know about who have that capacity. We're not denying that. In that a human being not only can feel love in the sense I like somebody, somebody liked me, enjoy them. But that to have heart and whose essence is love means a kind of universe of experience, a kind of richness of heart, a kind of pure goodness of heart. Pure goodness of heart that not only appears as caring for others or caring for earth or for the universe, but also knowing what is the love behind this caring. What is the experience of love? What is love? What is the field of love? What is the medium of love? What is the texture of love? What is the substance of love? What is the essence of love? So a human being can know love. Not only loving, your dog loves you, but your dog doesn't know it loves you. It just loves you. Human beings know that they love when they love. And not only know that they love when they love, they know the feeling of love. And more. Not just the feeling of love. Many of us know, many people in the world know the feeling of love. I love you, I enjoy you, I like you, I want to be close to you, I want to touch you, eat you up, whatever. But to know love is to know what fills the heart, the sweet, nectary presence that can fill the heart and the consciousness in such a way that its outer expression is what most people say love. When they say, I love you, where's that coming from? What is it in the heart that make you feel, I love you? What is in your heart if you feel you are loved? Human beings, as you know, not only the beings who can know love, but human beings, as we all know, value love. It's important for human beings that there is love in their life. Human beings actually want love more than anything else. I know there are some people who might want power more or something like that, but usually human beings, even the people who want power, they still want somebody to love them, or they love somebody, at least their kid, or No human being can exist much without love. Love is really the very nourishment for the human consciousness, for the human spirit, for the human soul. It's like a food. for humanness. So a human being can express love, can feel loving, can feel being loved, but also can feel love all the way to being love. You know it by knowing the being of it. So the knowing of love is a very different thing from emotionally knowing I love somebody. When somebody says, I love somebody, I love this flower, I love nature, the person might not know, might not be in touch exactly with what is this love that they make them say, feel, I love the wonderful view, the sunset or nature or the mountains or my dog or my cat. So the knowing of love has many layers, many degrees of depth, many degrees of fullness or completeness. The first part is to know that you love somebody, that somebody loves you. Then that doesn't mean we know yet what is the love that we feel, make us feel our love, or the love that we're receiving. Is it the love that you receive? Is it somebody saying, I love you? Is it the way they touch you? Is it that they make you good food? They make more time cooking the food? All these are expression of love, but that's not love yet. Humanity believes that is love, and it is true love, but it is not yet the very center of love. And love is not the only important element of human beings. Human beings also have awareness, consciousness, intelligence, mind, capacities of different kind. But love is the food without which a human being cannot survive, without which a human being cannot thrive, cannot mature, cannot develop, cannot actualize one's potentialities. I mean, we hear about many people having difficulty these days, and the question of therapy and coaching, all that becoming important to university knowledge that's needed. But much of it has to do with finding out things about one's hurt, pain, or abandonment, or trauma. But all of those have to do with love, with how much love there was there. Was there love and taken away? Was there love and stopped? Was there never love? Was there love but somebody else has loved more? In the beginning, as infants, young children, love comes from outside. It comes from the people who love us, from people who care for us, our parents, or caregivers. And we know that without love, it's difficult for a human being to survive, and if survive in a distorted way, in some kind of incomplete way, and difficult to actualize, to develop, to become all that they can be. Even when I say all that a human can be, most human beings don't know what that means. What the hell does that mean? All it can be. Well, I mean, I can be successful, I can get a job, I get married, I have kids, and I get a electric car. be creative, do something good for people, all of that. All that's true, that's part of the human potential. But from a wisdom tradition, this is a very small part of the human potential. This is the beginning of human potential. If that's all about human potential, there's no need for spiritual teachings because people already know that. The spiritual teaching, wisdom tradition have existed because there is a lot more to a human being, what a human being can know, that most human can dream of. I remember that I was thinking that people say, what you see is what you get. That is true for most human beings, but if you are seeing somebody who has spiritual development, what you see is not what you get. What you get is something very different than what you see, unless you have subtle seeing. So I want you to get something that is useful for you, that is nourishment for your soul, for your heart, that can make your life expand, be more, deeper, so that you can be happier and you can experience more joy and bring more joy to light to the world. The world needs it these days. Haven't you noticed? Not much happiness around the world. There's a lot of trouble. Many people are unhappy. Humanity at a difficult time, as we know. Wars and diseases, climate problems, inequality, all of that. So all of that needs love, but all of it, a large part of it, not all of it, a large part of it is because there is not much love, not enough love to go around. Such essential, necessary element, more important than money or fuel or all these things that people talk about in the news. Many teaching, when they do spiritual teaching, they talk about awareness, consciousness, transcendence, all that. All that is good, that is true, that is part of the potential of a human being. But a human being, most of the time, don't talk about that. How many songs do you know about consciousness, about awareness, about emptiness? Right? Most of the songs, most of the novels, most of the movies, most of the TV shows have to do about love, mostly. About whether it's a story around love, about a relationship that has love, how much love, conflict around love, history about love, whether getting, how to get it, how to be happy, how to have love in one's life. The songs all song about love. All we need is love. All you need is love. I think you need more than love, but love is that's the point. It's a good point. That means that all you need is love, because if you have love, the rest easy for it to come. So a spiritual person, developed spiritual person, awakened person, is more fully human if they don't only have transcendent conscious and awareness, but they can have love, they can have right heart that expresses that consciousness in the way they live their life. But the Turkish circle about two important things: love and non-dual love. What is love? What is non-dual love? We know love when we feel that our heart is open, free, not contracted, is spacious, is not protecting, not scared, not afraid. Open, relaxed, but also full with the richness, as if your heart has become big, clean, and some fountain opened up in it, and it's full of some kind of sweet nectar. Like your heart becomes the nectar itself, the sweet nectar. There are many kinds of sweet nectar that are all love. Can feel so well. I mean, people talk, you're sweet person, mean loving person. Notice the expression in English at least. I don't know if in Dutch you say that. Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah. When people tell me you're so sweet, I always say, what are you talking about? I don't taste sweet. Come taste me. Yeah. But it's something about love, but people don't know that when you feel love, you actually taste sweetness. I don't mean you taste it in your mouth. I mean you taste it in your heart. Your heart has its own tongue, its own tasting capacity, all throughout it, all throughout the chest, all throughout the heart. And the heart can be the whole body, can be bigger than the body, can be as big as this church, can be as big as the universe. And all of it can feel, can sense this, the texture of this nectar, this richness. It can feel like honey, like a honey that feels itself, that experiences itself at all points of its medium, all points of its substance. Imagine a jar of honey, and this honey, not just you tasted it sweet, the honey itself tastes itself as sweet, and tastes itself at all points of itself as sweetness. That will be the experience of knowing love that a human being is capable of. But it can be also apricot nectar. Can be grenadine, can be rose drink. There are many kinds of ways that the heart expresses love, but all of it feel like a consciousness, a medium of consciousness, not just a sensation, but almost a substance that senses itself, that knows itself by sensing itself, senses itself as sweet and good and satisfying and pleasurable and happy, and at the same time it also not only feels sweet and rich with goodness, but rich with goodness that make us feel I love. To feel I love means that love is flowing out, expressing itself, flowing out through our body, through our cells, through our words, through our mind, and expressing itself as love. That's what human beings call love. On the spiritual level, love is not just the word love, not the expression of love, not like just liking or appreciating somebody, but it is the knowing of love, where love knows itself as love, and the love knows itself as love, which is also you. I, love, and the knowing of love are one and the same, all together as one thing. That is true about all expression of spiritual nature. They're all self-knowing. Spiritual nature, like pure consciousness, pure awareness, pure peacefulness, or pure being, it's all self-knowing. Conscious of itself, it's like a medium that is conscious, that is aware, that is knowing, and knows what it is. And here it knows itself as love. And we have that when we are able to experience that love, and that become accessible to us in a permanent way. We cannot do harm to anybody. It doesn't make sense. You see somebody harming somebody, or being cruel or being mean, it's like you don't get it. How can that be? Aren't you human? How could you do that? Human beings don't do that. Human beings don't kill. But that is a real human being. The people who kill a human being are closed. Their heart is cut off from the reeling of love. They might love their child, but they don't. The love is not free. It's not open to flow. Because when we know love for what it is, when we know love in its essence, in its spiritual essence, then love is for everybody, not just for people who are close to us. And we are very nice company then. We're very good company, because if we are full of love, we're sort of relaxed, we're happy, we mostly see the goodness in others. We see the other things, everything else, but we also see the goodness, we see the possibilities, we see the positive side of things, without neglecting that there are other things that are still, but these other things mean love has not transformed them, hasn't penetrated them, hasn't gone through them, hasn't seeped into them. So that maybe gives us some feel, some understanding, some experience of what I mean by love. That love is our spiritual nature manifesting, filling our consciousness as the very substance of love, as the very truth of love. So human beings are capable of that. I don't know if dogs can do that, if dolphins can do that. You see? Maybe they can. I don't know. So, what does non-dual love then? Usually, in the way I usually talk, it just occurred to me when I said the way I usually talk sounded sort of clunky language, because when there's love, there's no I. No self in the usual meaning. But that is already love leaning toward non-dual love. Love inherently has in it the possibility and the potentiality of being non-dual. Love is like liquefied spiritual light. Most people think of spirit as light. People say when they go have out-of-body experience, whatever, they see light, white light, and it does. No, love is that light condenses, it becomes liquid, and this liquid becomes sweet, and this becomes intense sweetness that is never too sweet. Sugar, if you take too much sugar, it's too much after a while. No, I can't, too much. The love regards how intensely sweet it is. It's never too much. If it is too much, it means there's something in our mind that is a limitation, that is challenged by it. When we're completely open, there's no end to how intensely sweet, how deeply sweet, how completely sweet, and how completely good, how completely rich, how completely infuses the whole body so much. That I will talk about that later, what it does to the body. But first, let me say something about non-dual love. Most of us, when we think of love, we think of it coming from our heart, or you as the individual that you are, whatever your name is. You have love coming from you, from your heart. So usually love, most people think of it as personal love, as something we feel, experience, express, and if we really know it, we feel it as something deep in us, as a very, very depth, the very essence of our heart. But if you go into it, at the very essence of your heart, try to reach the end of it. If you're feeling the heart that is full of love, is there an end to that love? Because love is not a physical substance. Can it be contained by your ribs and bones? If you really feel into it, you feel like it really has no, it's not limited, it's not stopped. It cannot be stopped by the physical body, by the physical organ, unless the mind believes so. If the mind is out of the picture, which I will talk about later, if you feel the love, the substance of love, you feel that it doesn't have edges, it doesn't have end. It melts and it spills over and over, spills over, filling the church, filling Amsterdam, filling Holland, filling Europe, filling the earth, filling the universe. No end to it if you really go into it. As I said, the heart is a conduit, is a wormhole, but the wormhole has no end. It doesn't have boundaries. Even in physical theory, if you talk to Einstein, the wormhole doesn't have edges, doesn't have ends. You go into it, it just goes and goes and goes. So the same thing, if we really feel love fully, completely, we will realize it doesn't have an end. At the beginning, we might feel it as just a located pool of goodness, pool of purity, pool of generosity, a pool of radiant liquid light that tastes sweet and makes us feel appreciation, make us feel liking, make us feel enjoyment, make us feel wanting to share, make us feel close, make us feel intimate. All these are the outer expression of the actual love, presence of love. But the presence of love, if we really feel into it, if it has an end, is because our mind says it has an end. If we recognize that we have beliefs that this is my heart, it ends here, or maybe here. This love is here, comes over here. But if you don't think about it that way, if you don't think about this, or if your thoughts don't have the capacity to form your experience, which is not for most people, their thoughts form their experience. But it's possible that we can experience the presence of love just like the presence of any spiritual reality. It cannot have an end. It doesn't make sense because it's deeper than the physical. It's just like saying space can't be stopped by your body, by your skin. See, you could feel your body has a size, so obviously has space, has a volume, and then as if you could keep the space inside. Take any container, it has space in it, but there's always space outside it and space in the walls of the container. Love is like that. And in fact, more than space. It has an explosive quality. When love is really there, when the presence of love is there, it will tend to melt away, to dissolve the container. It spills over. That's why I say when people feel love, it's if I'm melted. I'm melted, I'm dissolved. Well, then melting can become literal in the sense that all your sense of boundaries, of ending, of size, all those melts. So the melting is not that you just feel like you're like a melting honey or a melting butter, but no, melting of all the edges too. Melts whatever it touches, including all your thoughts and beliefs and ideas. So then we recognize that love, although even though we feel it at some point as personal, as important, and it's important for it to be personal. And don't mistake me. I'm not saying it's not good for it to be just individual. It's important for a human life, but it comes from a larger source. A larger source is like the individual love that we feel is like a wave of an ocean. And there's a whole ocean. And this ocean has no shores. When we recognize that love is an ocean with no shores, and all of it, the water of that ocean, is the very sweet and rich and happy and shiny. It's like opening up at each point of it, expanding at each point of it. Just like when you're happy in public, you open up. The same thing with love does that at each point of it. And it does it everywhere, everlastingly, no end to it. Then it contains the whole universe. It fills the whole universe. We realize that love is infinite, has no size. At a deeper level, love has no size. Spirit has no size. But at the intermediate level, love is infinite, is everywhere. When we really feel love and go to the source of it, we reach the ocean of love, which has no size, which means the whole universe is in it. And it is in the whole universe. That's almost non-dual love. What makes it non-dual love is not that the universe is in it, not that it is in the universe. No, the universe itself is love. The universe is not in love. Love is not in the universe. The universe is in love, and love is in the universe, but there are nothing in between the one that holds, the one that's in. They are one. So that means the substance of the universe is also love. But that is a truth that is rare for a human being to see and recognize. If 10% of the human race can see that, we will be in good shape. There will be no wars, there will be no inequality, there will be no bigotry, but very rare. But it's possible. We're here to learn that it is possible. And I want you to learn that possibility, and hopefully you can experience it. So when love is everything, that means everything is made out of love. Since everything is made out of love, everything is like a design or some kind of detail in the very ocean or the very multidimensional space of love, then nothing is separate from anything else. That means you are not separate from the person you are sitting next, because you are all expression of love. You are all made out of the same love. It is the same love that is between you, that is inside you, that makes you up. So that so there's no separation. The no separation between one thing and another is called in the spiritual literature non-dual. Non-dual means not two. There's no two, it's all one. I usually term it universal love. That there's a way of knowing love as universally, and as universal as meaning it's everywhere, everything. It's the nature of everything, the substance of everything. When we have that experience, it's like the mountains are sweet. They're like made out of rock candy. The ocean is sweet, like made out of sweet liquid. The air is sweet, as if it is a sweet gas. They're all sweet. They're all not only sweet, but they are good, meaning when they feel touched, when your skin is touched by them, you feel touched by some kind of softness, by the most loving, tender hand of a mother or a lover. That makes you just relax and let go and ease and also melt and become love too. So non-dual love is the recognition that love is not only something a human being experiences in their heart, but it is really in its original truth. It is universal. I call it divine love, meaning divine is not limited to one human being. Divine also meaning has no selfishness, no impurity. I thought I'll talk less than an hour. Are we getting sweeter? Or are we saying, no, I like salty things? Don't, enough sweetness. Well, salty things are also sweet. It can be salty and sweet at the same time. And I'm saying this not by saying, when I'm saying, I don't mean that it is like this and we simply don't see it so. I don't mean that. I mean it is a potential way of experiencing things, a potential for a human being to experience love. We have the potential to experience no love directly, but we have the potential to know love as the nature of the universe, as the universe made out of love. But we have to be ready, we have to be open, we have to have our beliefs and ideas about love and history. I mean, human beings, their history, make them unhappy, make them depressed, make them angry, make them murderers and cruel. No, why? Because they were not loved. They were not melted by love for 10 years at the beginning of their life. Every human being is melted and felt loved for the first 10 years of their life. They'll be very nice people. You like them, and they like you. But most human beings, unfortunately, because there wasn't, it goes on from the beginning, from the time we were sort of animals, where love wasn't the main thing, where survival is the main thing, you see. But we do have the potential. That is the way we can evolve. We can develop into recognizing that we are pure consciousness, pure awareness, but also pure love. But there are many difficulties, obstacles in the way to recognizing non-dual love. And it can be experienced in many ways. It can be recognized. What's in the way of recognizing that love can be experienced as everywhere. You need to recognize the difference between saying love is everywhere or it can be experienced everywhere. They're not the same thing. Because to say it's everywhere, that means everybody can experience it. But not true. Only the one who is capable, only the one who is open, only the one whose heart has been purified, has been cleansed. But the main cleansing that needs to happen, not for love. For love, you have all kind of history you need to work with. But for non-dual love, we need to go deeper into our beliefs about who and what we are. The belief that we are human, individual, and I am my own person, I am not you. I am different from you, and that's very important. And you are Russian, I am Ukrainian, and we are very different. We are at war and we don't like each other. Well, that is true on some level. However, at the deeper level, if we look deeper through the heart, deeper in the heart, we see, no, we're both expression of love. We just don't see it. So one of the main things that makes it not possible for us to experience non-dual love, that love has no end, is an ocean with no shores, is the belief that we are the body. The deep conviction I am a body. Most people, when they say, who are you? They give you a name. You have your ID with your pictures on it, right? And has your birth date. Well, is it your birth date? And you celebrate your birthday every year. Is it your birth date? And many people sometimes, they want to give me birthday parties, and I always, not so comfortable. It's not my birthday. I wasn't born the day my body was born. The body is born as a certain date and has a certain age and has birthday every year. But the conviction, the belief that we are the body is so important, so central for human beings. We believe we are a bodies with a mind, with a brain that can think and feel. That's how most people actually think. They're a body, and then some of us think, I have a soul. Who the hell are you who have a soul? When someone says, I have a soul, who has the soul? Huh? Usually, a person means the body has a soul. Oh, no, it's the other way around, actually. The soul has a body. That's the truth. When you really know the spirit, the soul, you realize that it has a body that it uses to live on earth. In other part of the universe, it has some other thing. God knows what. Not necessarily a body, it might be something else. Hologram, maybe. But that I'm pointing to the fact, the strong conviction and belief that I am the body. That becomes a strong limitation against seeing non-dual love, against experiencing love as non-dual, as universal, as everywhere, as having no end, as an ocean with no shores. I'm sure many of us are aware of it, how we believe, yes, I am here, this body, that's me. And so, what happened to you? I broke my knee. What do you mean you broke your knee? Who broke the knee? When you say, my knee is broken, I broke my knee, you're thinking your body. You are the body that broke a knee. I'm sick today. I can't go to work. That's the language. All language of the human, everywhere, even primitive people have language. I am sick today. I can't go to work. Well, no, the body is sick. But most people so automatically we learn it since we're little kids. We learn to identify with the body, and it's needed, in some sense, for a while. We need to learn so that we don't bang ourselves against the wall, go in front of cars. So we need to know that the body is vulnerable, perishable, and so there's a point in identifying with it for a while. But at some point, it is not true. Or another way of saying, I am the body, but I am more than the body. I am something bigger than the body, and the body is only a part of me. But the usual belief is that I am a body, and I have a spirit, I have a soul, I have a spiritual experience, and I am an enlightened person. And usually, most people, when they say that, they mean is the physical body. And nobody's to be blamed for that. Everybody grows up believing they are the body. But if we have that belief and we stick to it as true, instead of recognizing it's just a belief, it's just an idea in our mind that we learned through upbringing, through education, through whatever, and it becomes like a truth, and supported by our language, by interaction between people, by what happened, where it all supports the belief we are a physical body. That belief in a spiritual realization, we recognize it's a belief, it's not true, you are not the body, you are more a spiritual nature that has no end. You are an ocean with no shores. And you can be a good ocean with no shores. Sweet. And the effect of it is a melting, is a dissolving, happiness, blissfulness. When we know, when we learn that the body is not what we are, the next transformation that can happen is that then love fills the body and fills it so completely. Because we're not believing we are the body, because believing that this is a very strong belief that throughout the whole body, the whole mind. When that is not there, love floods the body and fills it so much so that the body becomes a body of love. I call it the body of light. Light that is love. People talk about the body of light. Many teachings talk about that. But that's different from what I'm talking about now. I'm talking about the body of light now. I'm talking about the body of love, where the feeling that your body is made out of love, is love itself. But that does not happen if you believe you are the physical body. So I said a lot. I can't go on and on, in the book. A lot of it is in the book, I can't say it all. I try to make some connection, to help reading the book and things maybe not in the book. Am I a happy person? What do you think? Yes and no. I'm happy, a happy person, but not only that. I'm a happy ocean with no shore. You can be that too. Each human being has the potential. And love really is what makes that potential happen. Love is a force, a powerful force that is really at the very source of the creation of the universe. The Sufis say, God said, I love to know myself, so I created the world. Love, God created the world out of love to know itself. And when you know yourself as the ocean, it's the same thing as God knowing itself.